One of my coworkers was against windmills. When I asked her why, she said, "There are too many of them popping up. We're going to run out of wind." I was completely speechless, and I'm never speechless. At the shooting range, his gun jammed. To check it, he tilted it up and looked straight down the barrel. Why do the crosswalks beep? They're for blind people. But blind people can't drive. My mom's coworker insists gas prices don't matter. She says, "I always just put in $20, no matter what it costs." Quick classroom story. My teacher once corrected someone by saying, "No, he didn't live in California. He lived in San Francisco." I once told my class I was Asian. A friend looked at me confused and said, "Wait, you're Asian? I thought you were Vietnamese." A coworker of mine in her 40s genuinely believed rabbits hatch from eggs because the Easter Bunny hides decorated eggs. Me. We already have 4 bags, so we just need 14 more to make 18. No, we need 18. Yes, but since we have 4 already, we just need 14 more. Fine. 10 bags later. Okay, now there are 14 in there, but it doesn't look full because we still need 4 more. Coworker, but you said 14. Me 14 plus 4 makes 18. Whatever, I don't get it. You do it. Storms off math. I once saw a girl getting an elephant tattoo. Her boyfriend told her, "You know elephants are sacred in India, right?" She rolled her eyes and said, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm getting it. I'm part Native American." 1. She thought Indian only meant Native American. 2. She thought elephants were from America. My friend's sister was 20 and pregnant. She was upset, saying, "Ugh, my vagina's going to be ruined." Joking, I said, "Maybe the baby will come out of your butt instead." She looked serious and asked, "Wait, can they really come out that way?" I thought she was joking, so I said, "Well, duh, it's a 50-50 chance." Turns out she wasn't joking. She actually asked her doctor if he could tell whether the baby would come out of her vagina or her butt. A friend told me she hoped she'd have twins because her new husband's family had a history of them. I explained it actually depends on her eggs, not him. She stared at me like I was speaking another language. Then she asked about identical twins. I said that also depends on the egg. She was a teacher who taught human reproduction. Last month, a 34-year-old coworker asked me if I'd eventually run out of blood since I donate every couple of months. One of my students once emailed me with a very serious question. How do you convert years into centuries? My mother-in-law once asked why they don't just tear down the Colosseum since it looks so old. When I first got to the US, a teacher asked me, "How long have you been here?" Me, "A week." Teacher, "Wow, how did you learn English so fast?" Back in high school, I got a ride to a party with a friend. On the way home, he got pulled over. As the cop approached the car, I pretended to be asleep so I wouldn't have to talk. After a while, I opened my eyes and realized my friend, the driver, was also pretending to be asleep. Working in the ER, I once got a panicked call from a mom. My toddler drank out of the dog's water bowl. What do I do? I told her, give the dog some fresh water. A friend once asked me why we don't see stars when flying over them in an airplane. She honestly thought planes fly over the stars. I got into an elevator on the 5th floor. Someone else had gotten in on the 6th. I pressed the button for the 3rd floor, and as the doors opened, the girl said, "That's unfair. I got in before you. Shouldn't I get dropped off first?" In high school, a girl once asked the class, "Does anyone else drive with their eyes closed just to see how far you can get?" She was completely serious. My sister-in-law sent out wedding invitations, but forgot to write people's addresses. When asked about it, she said, "Doesn't the mailman know where they live?" Girl, what are you studying in school? Me, physics. I want to be an engineer. What's physics? Me, internally, what the hell? My boss's wife once asked me if I served in World War II. I was 54 at the time, and she was 56. There was a gorgeous girl at my school that everyone joked would never survive without other people looking out for her. One day, she raised her hand and asked, "How do you spell VCR?" Another time, on the swim team, she said, "I don't get how you breathe while swimming underwater that long." The captain told me later he almost said, "Next time just take a big breath in down there," but he didn't want to be responsible for her death. Her geography wasn't much better. She once asked if Africa was a country or a state. I said, Africa is a continent? She replied, no, it's a country. Nelson Mandela was their president. He's the one who said, I have a dream. Some girls at my school thought the UK was in America. The funniest part, we lived in the UK. My son's mom used to tell him, I love you to the Milky Way and back. One day my 8-year-old said, that doesn't make sense. We're already in the Milky Way. She snapped back, no, we're not. If we were inside it, we wouldn't be able to see it.